All right, a very warm welcome to all you Kent Business College learners and marketing pros. Today, we're going to do something really important. We are going to turn those marketing reports from a foggy, confusing data dump into a clear, actionable captain's log. You know, one that actually steers the ship. Let's get into it. Does this feel a bit familiar? You spend hours, maybe even days, putting together a report. It is packed with numbers, charts, graphs, and when you present it, you get silence. Or even worse, the dreaded question, so what? You know, too often, our reports are just a rearview mirror, a dense fog of data showing where we've been, not where we need to go. It's time to cut through that fog.
So, first things first, before we can navigate out of the fog, we need to understand the rocks that most reports crash on. Why do they get ignored? Let's chart these common pitfalls so we know exactly what to avoid.
Okay, so there are three main culprits here. First up, what I call aimless reporting. You're basically sailing without a destination. Second, there's a serious lack of alignment. Marketing and sales are like two ships passing in the night, flashing signals at each other that mean totally different things. And finally, and this is a big one, there's just no clear story. You're just handing your boss a puzzle box full of jargon and kind of hoping they'll solve it for you. We can do so much better.
So, how do we fix this mess? Well, any great journey, any great voyage starts by knowing exactly where you're going. Before you even think about looking at a single data point, you've got to know what success actually looks like.
And that destination? Well, it's marked on your map with a big X, and it's called a SMART goal. Now, I know we've all heard the acronym a million times, but when it comes to reporting, it is absolutely non-negotiable. Your goal has to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This is your true north. It's what keeps you from getting lost. Let's just look at the difference here, because it's huge. A vague goal like get a lot of new customers, well, that's not a goal, that's just a wish, it's a daydream. But acquire 100 new customers via our online campaign by the end of Q4, now that is a destination. You know exactly what you're aiming for, and you'll know for sure when you've arrived.
Okay, so once you have your destination locked in, you're gonna need a compass to make sure you're actually heading in the right direction. And in our world, that compass is your set of key performance indicators, or as we all know them, KPIs. But listen, this is so important. A dashboard with 50 different dials is just noise. It's useless. The principle of focus is everything. For each goal, you need to choose just 2 or 3 strategically important metrics. These are the critical few. They're the only numbers that'll tell you if you're truly on course or drifting out to sea. And you've got to know, not all metrics are created equal. You have leading indicators. Think of these like the weather vane on your ship's mast. They give you an early signal, a heads up, a chance to course correct in the middle of a campaign. Then you have lagging indicators. These are like the finish line. They tell you if you won the race, but only after it's over. You absolutely need both. And please, I'm begging you, beware the peacock's tail of marketing, the vanity metric. You know the one. It looks magnificent, loads of followers, millions of impressions. But does it actually help you make a single decision? If not, it's what we in Britain like to call all sizzle and no sausage. You need to focus on actionable metrics, the trusty wrench that actually helps you fix things and make them better. So, you've got your destination, you've got your compass. But a compass reading is totally useless if you can't read the map, right? Your numbers, they need to reign around them. They desperately need context. Just look at this, 500. What on earth does that mean? 500 what? Is it good? Is it bad? Have we just made a fortune or are we about to go bankrupt? See? On its own, a number is utterly, completely meaningless. And this says it all, doesn't it? A lone number is about as useful as a chocolate teapot. It's just pointless. But the moment you add context, suddenly it has power. 500 when our target was 450. 500, which by the way is a 25% increase year on year. Now that is an insight. Context is what turns random data into real meaning. All right, you have your destination, you have your compass, and now you can read the terrain. It's time for the final piece of the puzzle. It's time to tell the story. This is how you transform that data dump into a proper captain's log. And don't worry, you don't need to be some literary genius for this. There's a simple, repeatable formula. It goes like this. You start with the action, what did we do? Then the engagement or outcome, what happened because of that? Then the crucial insight, what does this actually mean? And you finish with the recommendation. So what should we do now? Action, engagement, insight, recommendation. Simple.
Let's see it in practice. We sent a targeted email campaign. That's your action, which drove 200 repeat purchases. That's your outcome. This shows us that these customers are a really high-value segment. That's the insight. So we recommend creating a dedicated lookalike campaign to find more of them. And boom, that's your recommendation. See? It's simple, it's powerful, and it actually drives the business forward. Okay, one last point, and this is absolutely vital. You wouldn't speak to the captain of the ship in the same way you speak to the crew down in the engine room, would you? You have to tailor your report to your audience.
Honestly, this slide right here is your ultimate cheat sheet. Seriously, your C-suite, they just want to know one thing. Did we move the needle? So give them the big picture stuff. ROI, revenue, market share. Your sales team, they're asking, how does this help me sell more? So you show them lead quality, pipeline contribution. And for your channel specialists, the people in the weeds who want to know how to improve, that's when you bring out the granular data. The click-through rates, the cost per click, all that good stuff.
Think of it this way. Reporting to your CFO versus chatting with a new marketing intern is like switching from speaking Shakespeare to texting in emojis. They are two completely different languages. To the CFO, you might say, this campaign delivered a 150% return on investment. For the team, you're geeking out about why that one TikTok video absolutely blew up. It's the same data, just a different dialect.
So let's bring our ship into port with this one final thought. The most important thing to remember is that reporting isn't a chore. It's not the boring admin you have to do after all the fun stuff is over. Good reporting, that's where the wisdom begins. It's how you prove your value, it's how you guide your strategy, and it's how you lead the entire organization forward.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question. Your next report is due soon, isn't it? Is it going to be another foggy look in the rearview mirror? Or is it going to be a clear, compelling captain's log that charts the course to your next big success? The choice, as they say, is yours. Thanks for joining me.